Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me for another office hours training. I'm Crystal L. Gunn, your financial strategist, small business advisor, and licensed life insurance agent. And the thing that I love the most about being a financial strategist is helping you heal and redefine your personal financial relationship and having some aha moments, some self-discovery moments, and helping you see what no longer serves you so you can release it in order to thrive. And all that helps with the breakthroughs. That's where you start to shift. That's where the magic happens, be it in your personal finances or your overall business. And it's Wednesday, so let's talk my favorite thing, budgeting. And since it's homeownership month, let's continue to talk about the importance of an efficient and effective budget when you want to purchase a home. We started talking about mistakes people make budgeting and home ownership last Wednesday. Go back and watch that episode. Everything this month will be around either credit, money mindset, or budgeting, life insurance, everything, all of that will lean towards home ownership month, right? So let's get into it and talk about 3 reasons to have an efficient and effective budget when you want to buy a house. Number 1, accurate savings planning. Having an efficient and effective budget helps you save for a down payment and any other upfront costs like closing fees and moving expenses, right? And so even if you get down payment assistance, because there's down payment assistance everywhere, banks have their own down payment assistance. And I say, if you qualify, never leave any money on the table. But even if you get down payment assistance, you will still need funds for the upfront costs like earnest money deposit, inspections, appraisal fee, depending upon which lender you use. You will also need money for closing. So at the end of the process, to cover your responsibility for the down payment, you're going to have some money that has to come out of pocket in a lot of instances, right? So to cover your responsibility for down payment per lending program requirement, and any shortage for down payment and closing costs not covered by any down payment assistance. Also, remember, after you close, you need to physically move, and there may be new items you need to purchase for your home, like changing the locks and security systems. So you want to make sure that you're planning for that accurately. Always, 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 the earlier you start, the better off you'll be, right? And it's best to have more money saved and then you don't need it all than to not have enough saved and you can't close when you're ready to close or when you want to close, right? Number 2 reason to have an efficient and effective budget when you're considering buying a home: debt management. So when you start the process, and I reiterate all of the time, you want to start it early as opposed to later when you know you want to buy a house. So for debt management, if you need to pay down credit card debt to decrease utilization, which would increase your credit score, having an efficient and effective budget lets you know I have the money to be able to do that. You may also need to pay down some installment debt, right? To pay it down. So so that you have 10 payments or less when you get ready to apply for a mortgage. That way, the particular debt is not included in your debt to income ratio for qualification, right? You may not need to pay it off. You just may need to pay it down, but you need to do that before you even apply for the mortgage, right? And then in addition, once you get the mortgage and settle into your new home, you already have an efficient and effective budget to be intentional with your finances into the future. This ensures you get to manage household finances and get to live the life that you deserve instead of just being able to, I say it all the time. It's one thing to get the house that you love and to be able to live life, but it's a whole different thing to get the house that you love and you can't go anywhere. but the backyard or the front porch, because you can't afford to do the other things in life that you want to do. And the number 3 reason is expense tracking, right? So having an efficient and effective budget allows you to identify and cut any unnecessary expenses. You'd be surprised when you actually start looking at what you're spending your money on and how you're spending it, that something happens, something triggers, and you're like, I don't need this. Sometimes people don't even know that there's a monthly expense that's happening. You got a subscription that you didn't stop, but because you're not looking at your bank statements every single month, you're not even paying attention that it's still hitting your account. So makes it easier for you to cut those unnecessary expenses, which also then in turn makes it easier to save more and spend less. And so when you're determining the ideal mortgage payment, some people will try to stay in the range of their current rent payment. So let's say your monthly rent payment is $1,100. And people will say, well, you know what? I don't want a mortgage for more than $1,200. Or I just want to stay around at $1,100 a month because that's what I'm comfortable with a housing payment. But with current interest rate climate and the house that you purchased 2 years ago, and that would have had that $1,200 mortgage payment, that payment today for that same house, that same price range, the payment now might be $1,500 to $1,700 a month. So instantly, will people think, well, wait, I'm comfortable at $1,200, right? So because of this, you may want to look at your total monthly outlay and adjust accordingly. So if your total current monthly expenses is at $3,000 and your current rent is $1,100, but your mortgage payment will be $1,400, that will increase your monthly expense to $3,300, right? You may want to look at other debt and other expenses to see where you can decrease that total monthly outlay by $300 to keep your total monthly expenses at $3,000 with that higher housing payment, right? So again, looking at the total monthly outlay of expenses, where can I decrease somewhere else so that my total monthly doesn't change, even though now my housing expense, my mortgage payment is more than what my current rent payment is, right? So the earlier you start to plan for your home purchase, the better. And having an efficient and effective budget will help you before and after you close on your dream home. So, let's get to my favorite thing. And it's going to be really simple today. Efficient and effective budget. The link is in the description. Download it and start your budget today. It is the financial foundation. It is your system of success. So start today, use it, and keep using it. And you can thank me later, right? So we know life is about the journey, and getting a house, especially the one that you love, it's a journey as well. So you want to make sure that you're giving yourself enough time to be able to get the mortgage that you want at the time that you want it, right? And you also want to try to eliminate as much stress as you possibly can, right? It's always stressful when someone, we get to the, we're now, you're almost to the point where you have a clear to close, but the clear to close, the last condition is assets and you're short cash to close, right? So you can't set a closing date until you can prove that you have the cash to close, right? So the more time that you give yourself, it just eases a lot of the stress. The more time that you give yourself to prepare and to make sure that you're ready, the better off you're going to be, the easier the process is going to be, and it's going to be less stressful, because I don't care. The hiccups are going to come up. You know what I mean? Hiccups are going to come up. It never fails, right? So walk the journey, take it step by step, right? And then when it's time for you to apply for the mortgage, you have all of the stuff set down, done, and in place. And so now you are just ready to go. It's going to make your life a whole lot easier. It's going to make the loan officer's life a whole lot easier. It's going to make the real estate transaction a whole lot easier. Your realtor is going to be really, really happy. So what are your next steps? Download the household budget. I mean, that's simple. And then complete it. Like, download it and actually complete it. Go back and watch any past episodes on budgeting that I've done. If you download it, it's going to give you instructions on how to do it anyway. Download the household budget, complete it. And then look at what you need to edit to ensure you are in a good position to purchase your new home, right? Do you need to, because yesterday we talked about credit. So you should have pulled your credit and looked at your credit. Is utilization high? What do you need? But now that you know where your money is going, now that you see, is there some money left over that I can then use to pay some of this credit card debt down? What do you need to edit in your financial life, right? Okay, you're paying, I don't know, a subscription to something or some streaming app or whatever, and it's $25 a month, right? Okay, well, could you redirect that to something else that's going to put you in a better position for buying a house? So you got to look at those things. So what do you need to edit and to ensure you're in a good position to buy your new home? And then start to make the edits today. Don't wait and be like, okay, well, I can wait to do this. Start to make the edits today. Small steps will get you where you need to be. And of course, if you need help, schedule a financial checkup with me today. That one, because the other thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to do things that are not helping you. And if you don't know mortgages and you don't know mortgage guidelines, a lot of times you'll do a thing that doesn't help you, right? Like I've seen people pay off an entire installment loan when if they had just paid it down, you know what I'm saying? That it wouldn't have been counted in their debt to income ratio. But you don't know what you don't know when it comes to qualifying for a mortgage. And so you don't want to do things that are not going to have huge impact, right? And I can look and tell you, do this. It's going to have a bigger impact than if you did X, Y, and Z. Okay. So that scheduling link is also in the description below. If any of this has been helpful to you, please subscribe to my channel and share turn notifications on so that you don't miss a training. Share this information, share this channel with somebody else. There could be somebody that you know that's looking to buy a house that you know of. If it's not you, share the information. Don't be a gatekeeper to this goodness, right? Also, if you are in need of personal or business strategy, let's talk about it. The scheduling links are below. And remember, always, 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 give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace. You don't know what you don't know. Keep striving to your next level, right? Keep striving to your next level. You're not in competition with anybody. This is all about your own personal elevation. And then never give up on you. Never, ever, 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 ever give up on you. Invest in you. It's the best investment that you will ever make. I promise you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Be sure to join me for the private online Q&A immediately following. The link is in the description. And if you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn notifications on so you never miss this opportunity.